Baba. He's an engineer like you. And he comes from the land of Baba. He comes from the land of who? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to allow me to introduce a man that has been burning the midnight oil. I've seen that man run all over the country for almost a whole year, going back and forth, taking meetings. This man, he's so we bonded because of the Pan-African agenda. And I told him, Baba and Baba, all of them are Pan-Africanists. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the chairman of FESTAC Africa, Yinka Abioye. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me hear it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long road to be where we are today. But I am so happy. I'm so grateful to His Excellency, Governor Peter Anyang, for his vision. And I'm going to get into how we get to talk about it, how he actually beats me up every day to make sure this thing is a success of where we are today. For people that don't know me, my name is Yinka Abioye, and I'm the chairman of the FESTAC Africa Festival. As I was talking into the room earlier, I felt everybody understood and knew what FESTAC was about. So when I spoke in the room earlier, I didn't go into too much details. But I was asked that we don't want anyone to walk away from here not understanding the message of a new Africa, which is why we name it now FESTAC Africa Renaissance, taking it from where Baba started it and to where Baba is going to continue the Africa Renaissance. Give me a hand, please. So, FESTAC was designed as a tool to bring all of us together through arts and culture. I'm a Yoruba man, and in the Yoruba land, I can't say an history of something in front of the person that was part of the history. So, Baba, forgive me. I'm going to say a little bit. Maybe later you can say more. Festival started in 1966. For whatever reason, on all the problems of the continent in the 60s all the way to the 70s, we were not able to do the second one until 1977 in Nigeria. Who was pronounced it not other than Baba Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. I still remember 1977 when I was glued to my little Sony television watching him speak in Lagos, Nigeria. What FESTAC stood for. 77 was a rebirth of Pan-Africanism. Unfortunately, the festival died again for 45 years. Post-COVID, we said, I'm an engineer, so I don't like to talk about engineering. So if you find an engineer in the culture space, sometimes it's nice to be lost into places that is new for you. The Renaissance of Africa, to me, means we need to develop our arts and culture. If you don't know where you are coming from, you will never reach or know where you need to go. We brought the festival back in 2022 in Zanzibar. 2023 was in Arusha. During 2023, our excellent governor sent a troop to Arusha. On getting there, I got to know more about the governor and his passion for culture. We got together in selecting the next place to go. Kisumu came very high on the list of places. Number one, the governor. I mean, we walked into his door on that day. The welcome was strong, straight, friendly. We very much appreciate it. Secondly, the Lake Region Economic Bloc area is the area of bedrock of culture in Kenya. I have traveled the block all the way to Homa Bay, all the way to Bungoma, all the other counties going through, and I've seen the value of what we have here. Sometimes as people, we also don't know the value of what we have at our house until somebody brings it to us to bring it up. So when we design the festival, there are certain things we are trying to add more to what our fathers did in 77 and 66. Number one, we are promoting inter-Africa travel and tourism. Most of us don't even know what Tanzania looked like, and we talk about Tanzania on paper rather than getting to visit the country, and vice versa. So travel and tourism is a big part of the new Africa. The second thing is intra-Africa trade. If we don't work together, if we don't travel one another environment, we can never trade, because I don't know what the other has or does not have. Okay, that is significant. Number three, we imputed the children into the program. And so as the week goes on, you will see a lot of children programs going on. Number one, STEM education, to make sure our children are educated and continue to grow. Number two, sports. Our kids like sports. It's a builder, that's why you see a lot of that. And number three, movies. Our children love movies. It's a good tool to capture them and teach them Pan-Africanism and the new Africa. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a week of discovering Africa as a whole. There are a lot of conferences planned. The conferences are meant for us to talk about issues in our lives, gain friends, contact people, and be able to improve from there. But every day from about 10 to 6 p.m., today until Friday, there will be a lot of performances on this stage, cultural performances, music, arts, dance, fashion show on Thursday night. And there are other side events that we put together to make sure we capture everybody being here in the week and getting to know what Africa is all about. If I'm given a chance to stand on the stage, I can talk to you tomorrow on FESTAC, because it's a passion and it's a new time for Africa to rebirth itself, which is the Africa Renaissance. That is why we are so lucky to have the two Babas in the room. Baba that started in 74 and Baba that is saying, let's make the continent go forward. It is important because for us to be able to lead our continent, we have to have our own self-confidence and know where we are and where we are going. And we are there to show the world it's a new Africa, because as you go around the world, you see our children leading organizations all over the world. Why can't they do that at home and bring up the continent? All right, so that's the message. Before I close, I want to invite 3 people just to make some comments on relevance to what I'm talking about, and then we will close and move on with the program. The first person I want to call on stage is Mr. Patrick Obath. Actually, Engineer Patrick Obath. He also doesn't like to be called engineer. But please play some music for him, because I want to see him dance. I've never seen him dance before. Give me some music. DJ, come on, don't let him get away. Don't let him get away. Okay, dance. Yes.
Ani kogi kodiendo, era kogi
I'm presenting Engineer Patrick Obath. He's one of our board members and a director in FESTAC. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I stand on the protocols. Our chief guest, Your Excellent, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, our special guest, Dr. Obasanjo, visiting governors, but especially our host governor, Anyang' Nyong'o, all the visiting governors, I've seen them in the house. Mine will be very simple. When I was asked to come and assist Yinka in terms of conceptualizing the FESTAC in Kenya and in Kisumu, I had to have a good reason to come in. And my background is in the business area. And what I could see with FESTAC was primarily the business opportunity that this event brings in. Yes, we have culture, we have arts, we have sports, but those are the key things that are going to allow our Gen Alpha, Gen Z, and so forth to now begin to earn money in this world. Leisure is becoming the next big industry. And FESTAC is promoting those particular areas. And the county of Kisumu and all the surrounding counties in the Lake Region Economic Base Block, plus all the other countries that are present here, must see FESTAC as an opportunity to promote cultural businesses, to promote the sports business, and also promote tourism. And I'm hoping that a lot of the people coming here will be able to visit the various attractions that there are within Nyanza County, within the county of Kisumu, county of Kakamega, county of Homa Bay, and the counties of Busia, and all the counties around here. I could actually name almost 7 unique places in each of those counties. But how many of us even in Kenya know that? So mine is purely to urge, let us see FESTAC as an opportunity to attract cultural, sports, and other types of investments into our counties. And let us mix with the business people who are coming here from different parts of the world and make sure that they see something to invest in this country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Engineer Obath. Before I bring my second speaker on, I'd like to recognize somebody in the house, Mama Professor Ojiambo. If she can just stand up. I met Mama maybe a month or 2 ago, and Mama graciously informed me that, please sit down, that she was the lead of the Kenyan contingent to Nigeria in 1977. Anyone, give Mama a big hand, please. You know, when you meet anyone that participated in anything 77, when you say it to them, they all get goosebumps. I remember when I went to Baba Obasanjo's house in Nigeria, in Abeokuta, and when I started talking about FESTAC, Baba said, you little boy, you want to get involved in this thing? This thing is bigger than you. I said, Baba, I know, but this thing has to come back because it's time for it to come back. So anyone that has the passion for it is a believer and is pushing it forward. In the interest of time, I'm going to invite one of my best friends here who was not born in Africa, but have the Pan-African in his heart because he understands, he's been around the continent, he knows what is going on, and he's done a lot of investment on the continent. I bring on stage DJ, kill something very, because he also doesn't dance. So I want to see him dance. Dr. Fazam Kamalaba.
Blessings from heaven descend upon Africa. The citizens of Kisumu, the denizens of Kenya, the peoples of Africa, this is the best day. God has His eyes upon the mother continent of Africa. God has decided that the trajectory of the rise of Africa will become like this. Only vertical, only transcendence, ascendance, and in a very short time. No more Vision 2063, too far, too little. But in 1 decade, the entire continent of Africa shall have risen to the level of the wealth of China, if not beyond. That Africa will surpass in wealth the Arab countries of the world. In fact, Africa is already the wealthiest nations and land and continent on the face of the planet. Who thinks in this point of view that it is Africa that subsidized Europe for 500 years? It is Africa that subsidized America for 300 years. It is Africa that is subsidizing China for now 50, 70 years. Yes, you made their wealth. And now it is time for Africa, internally. From Africa, by Africa, in Africa, for Africa, and for export to the world. Africa is the source, is the mother. In the Pangaea area, you will put the map of the world together, and where is the heart? It is Africa. Each African nation, at least 21 of them, are 20 times, 50 times, 100 times richer than Saudi Arabia. Did you think that? Who knows that Africa, each continent, each country is already richer than Qatar, than Kuwait? Do you know that? Do you believe in that? Say a big yes. Do you know, I see here the youth, the children, the university, of course the leaders, our honorable leader, the honorable president from Nigeria. I met you in Washington, D.C. at Ravi Shankar's event. And I am here with a weighty message. I came here so that this message will go throughout Africa. That it is, you have everything. You need nothing. You don't need foreign aid. You don't need foreign direct investments. Domestic wealth generation will become the next decade goal and action and operations of all African leaders, of all African masses. You don't need to wait for anyone. Horizontally, you don't need IMF, World Bank, even African. Vertically, the people of the Africa, you don't need to wait for the government to give you a hand down. You are the creator, you are the source. You are not a kitty that needs meow, I want my milk. No, you are the lion. You go and get, and you build wealth, and you distribute wealth, and you export wealth. It is my duty that in 3 years, I will see 5 African nations and governments will issue official foreign debt issued by African nation outbound into Europe. Europe receives it. Game over. Whether it is Romania, Bulgaria, or Kosovo, Serbia, or even Italy, they need the wealth. You have been giving them for 500 years. Let's make it official. so that the mind will be warped. That means as soon as Africa has issued the first official debt outbound, the entire world will know Africa has risen. The entire African populations will know we are the source of the wealth. We have it everything. And we are the ones who donate to the world outside, to Europe, Asia, and to the world. Again, the Future Trends Africa Manifesto, the collective peaceful rise of Africa, and I called it the surprise rise of Africa. Go and surprise the world. I'll add one sentence. It's very important because I am the person who raised the whole of China. When I went to China, China was the poorest nation. They were going as refugees to North Korea. The Chinese salary was only $30 the highest. In the airport of Hangzhou, I saw 20 chickens, 7 goats, and 50 people in dark. They did not have light. The city of Dalian had no light. They were lower than Africa, and they rose to $19 trillion. Your $3 trillion economy, the size of one Shanghai city. No, Africa will have $60 trillion economy in 10 years. Okay, this is the prophecy. Thank you. And action.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
It's the new Africa. The new Africa, the Africa we want, the Africa Renaissance is called self-confidence. One thing I want everybody to take out of this place, being called a Pan-Africanist is not a disease. It's called, that's self-assurance. So don't be ashamed to be a Pan-Africanist. Before I give the mic back to the MC, I'd like to recognize the CEO of the Lake Region Economic Bloc, Mr. Victor Nyagaya. Please stand up and wave. The bloc has been very supportive on the program. Don't sit down yet. Don't sit down yet. You have to move your shoulder. Give me a little music. I want to see you move his shoulder. Let's see you move. Aha, that's okay, I can see. It's okay, it's okay. I just want to make sure he dances too. Anyway, welcome to you all. Enjoy your week. We are here to take the continent into new heights. Asante Sana, thank you very much. Kisumu Dala.
I mean, let's appreciate Chair once more. Well done, Chair. We're going to move with speed, Your Excellency. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of the Chair of the Luo Council of Elders, Ker Odungi Randa. Thank you very much, sir. Allow me as well to acknowledge the presence of the County Commissioner, Kisumu County, Mr. Lord Morillo. Thank you very much for being here as well. May we affix our eyes on the screens. There are 3 videos that are going to play. The first one is from a daughter of Kisumu that we are very, very proud of as a country, as a continent, and as people in the creative industry. Please, all eyes on the screen for this message from our very own Lupita Nyong'o, an accomplished Hollywood actress. I am advised that there's a technical hitch with that. The English say you save the best for the last. You know her second name. It means that video has to play. If it does not play, ... Very well. The second video then, technician, I know you're ready with that.
I am the Deputy Commissioner and Chief of Staff in the New York City Mayor's Office for International Affairs. I am pleased to join you for the 5th World of Black and African Festival of Arts and Culture, FESTAC, in Kenya. On behalf of Mayor Eric Adams and our administration, we want to thank the organizers and leadership of FESTAC Africa. We also want to thank all the people who made this gathering possible. Finally, we want to thank the African Council in New York City for their efforts in introducing this event to us. We wish we could have been physically there with you. But as a proud African senior member of the Adams administration, I am still incredibly honored to be with you virtually. This event has a rich history of connecting the African continent since the 1960s. And we all know the power of arts, culture, and sports in bringing people together, especially our young people. Travel anywhere around the world, and you will find the powerful impact of African and Black art and culture. And that's including right here in New York City. A global city that is home to a large and proud diaspora community of Africans. Travel from Manhattan to the Bronx, from Brooklyn to Queens and Staten Island, and you will find proud representations of African and Black culture and arts. And we must continue to celebrate our rich history and culture. We must cherish these precious creations and we must protect them. And we have to do it together. As the African proverb reminds us, to go far, we must go together. And that's why our administration's goal is to continue to strengthen the ties between New York City and the African continent, and that's including Kenya. We invite you to engage with us, to create with us, and build a new future with us. We wish you a wonderful experience at this event, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Your Excellency, that video came before the introduction. Allow me to mention this a video is by Miss Aisata Kamara. Deputy Commissioner and Chief of Staff, New York Mayor's Office for International Affairs. The second video that is going to play is by Miss Suzanne Palsy. A Hollywood actress. From Martinique. And this particular lady opened the doors for black actresses. In Hollywood. Enjoy.